And Sparks, when I first saw them in 1974, I don't know if you people remember Sparks. This was this guy, I don't know if you remember, this is Sparks.
I remember. Now look, this is my tank, get out.
And this is Ron Mael, who writes the lyrics for Sparks, and I credit him with sort of sparking my imagination, because he has a sort of skew-whiff take on life. The first album they ever did was called Kimono My House, which is absolutely brilliant. Now this poem will use words from Ron Mael, and I will hold this up when it's actually Ron Mael talking, and Ron Mael will probably get all the laughs. So this is Sparks firing my imagination since Thursday, May the 9th, 1974, just after 7:30, there are those system sore points in life, like Kennedy's shooting, man landing on the moon, hiding from your first Dalek, and watching Hitler play keyboards on top of the pops. Piano fading, and then a boy with dark curls starts to sing, and there's Adolf on keyboards, or is it the singer's disapproving dad? This town ain't big enough for the both of us. Gunshot, and it ain't me who's gonna leave. The next 3 minutes were wondrous and would last forever. As I closed my mouth, my taste for the weird had begun. But who were they, this Sparks? No internet back then, no instant information. You remained agog before Google. No way to know until Melody Maker or the Sounds landed at the back of the door and told you so. Next day's water cooler moment, before I knew of such things, or that dehydration in the workplace was a concern, took place at the mill's smoke room, a windowed coffin where even non-smokers, not that there were many, would take a break so they could at least have one. Did you see him? Hitler, sorry, in his teacher's shirt and tie, but this was a new Hitler, no kidding, mister. On our side, not like in the comics or the TV, no longer the enemy, according to Enemy. The singer was Russell Mael, teenage poster boy, almost androgynous in twin-set and girl's voice. The other, his brother's grim-faced persona, was Ron, reclaiming the toothbrush moustache for the arts long before Richard Herring even thought of it. More Chaplin-esque than Hitler, although much later in a song discussing the merits of the moustache would write, "When I trimmed it real small, my Jewish friends would never call. But I'm digressing, splitting hairs. I need to have that single. This town ain't got a record shop, no downloads then, no Amazon, hamstrung until work allows you to a bus trip to Nelson to buy it from Les at the Electron. Les, the guy all the boys wanted to be. Les was cool without trying, cool before I knew of such things. Then the album, I couldn't wait, but you had to then. Kimono My House, I'm already there in the bedroom with two glam geisha girls, one shot, one flirty, Roxy by proxy. Slide the record out of the sleeve, thick, heavy vinyl, a desert island disc overlapping the small mono player. Not even a dance set, which at least had nostalgia on its side to mark this momentous occasion. Put the needle on the record player and what music? Russell's falsetto surfs a tsunami of sound, nothing indiscreet, just big beats and a rush of exhilarating harmony. Tight, grandiose production before I knew of such things. No gratuitous sax and senseless violins. Here. Sat on the bed, I bask in the entirety of the sound, pick up the inner sleeve and read lyrics by Ron Mael. The one who's not going to get the girls, but will at least have plenty of time and less distractions to write. I attempt to sing along to the breathtaking pace, deciphering staccato signals like an overstretched Bletchley girl, all the while noticing that the words are funny, puns, double entendres, before I knew of such things. Wise words, imbued with a sense of absurd taken on board. Songs that ask questions, but not the same old questions like, will you still love me tomorrow, or how can I be sure, but questions that an 18-year-old boy needed answering, like on sex. How will I know if I'm doing it right, Ron? It's a lot like playing the violin. You cannot start off and be Yehudi Menuhin. On holiday romances, are they a good idea? I tried to tell you in the night that with a girl like you I could do without guided tours. You tried to tell me in the day that your leading exports were textiles and iron ore. Or just say me and my girl are prevented from being together, like Romeo and Juliet, and the pair of us decide to end it all by jumping off a cliff, only she has second thoughts and watches me plummet to my death. How will I feel? That kind of question, Ron. Up here in heaven without you, I'm here in heaven without you. It is hell knowing that your health will lead you out of here for many, many years. And from a young man who works in the complaints department, the question, what if she gets pregnant, Ron? Now she says she is expecting, that's my fault for not protecting her from all the risks of passion. She's complaining, she's old-fashioned. Just give it back, no questions asked. A near subliminal opinion on abortion in 1974, almost as well hidden as the address of a backstreet clinic. Johnny Rotten would broach the subjects 3 years later in a far more graphic detail and with a little less discretion. It's easier to get away with it dressed in a cardigan. Over 40 years on, Sparks are still performing like musical Gallifreyans regenerating at a rapid pace, who could start a song as tenor and then end as bass. Maybe that first sighting of Hitler tickling the ivories was a catalyst to a new way of thinking. A world of what-ifs, a third-eye imaginings, told in another voice where the words needed to be up there with the music. Was it then that I became a poet for the first time? Not literally letters on the page, but inside my head, a way of thinking, a need to find the joy in everything, to seek a smile, result, or look for laughter, bonus. Did Sparks make me creative, and did they fire my passion, leaving me strolling to the beat of a different drum machine? On occasion the music has disappointed, but never the words. Those lyrical waxings cut it for me. Final chapbooks are often the alternative before it turned up anyway. From a sad-faced clown, the only right eye in the house. The only right eye in the house. A downbeat poet whose words do not cease to be poetry simply because music is tagged on. And here I name drop a lightened up Morrissey. Ron Mael, musical genius, no question. His moustache now more Cab Calloway than Chaplin. Back then, in 1974, the image drew me in. But the poet keeps me close, and I ain't gonna leave. Thank you.
Kind of big enough for both of us.